when you're like, well, of course you do. You're like 15 or 16 and you do something really stupid, right? And I firmly believe that everybody at like 15 or 16 would have like that stupid thing that they do. Now, for the longest time, I avoided it. I was immune to the stupidity. I was too fucking smart, and then it just snuck up on me and like got me in the butt. It was the craziest shit ever, right? So I was hanging. So my name's Steven, right?
Yes.
This guy I met at school's name was Stefan. Now his name was actually quite humorous because his name was Martin Stefan, and my name was Steven Martin. So they fuck our names up all the time.
That is pretty funny.
We became pretty good friends. This dude's from like I think the southwestern part of Russia, right? He was adopted and his parents are really good, wholesome, old, happy white people, and he lives a pretty good life. He's pretty popular. There's really nothing wrong with him. And he decided that, you know, he wanted a girlfriend, like most people do. They're like, you know, it's time. And so I'm like, all right, you know, and he picked. I say it sounds creepy. He picks this chick, and I'm like, all right, that's the chick you like. Yeah, you know, at the time I didn't like anybody. I'd figured out that people were fucking retarded, and also I didn't like anybody at high school, you know, because they were sluts, or they were mean, or they were just weak as fuck, or they were ugly. Shit, you know, you can't get people to be ugly, you know, so you gotta at least be decent looking. And I figured out something incredible. I was lame. You know, which is a very important factor. When you realize that you're lame and you're like, wow, I'm really fucking lame. That's why I don't have like extra friends and lots of girls. I'm just lame. You know, I'll be cool later, but I'm probably just fucking lame right now. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Fuck high school, and I stopped trying. Not the moral of the story, however. But so we kind of scoot along, right?
What is the moral of this story?
We're getting there. Shut up.
I feel like we're getting there.
All right.
Me and Stefan are hanging out, right? And we're doing, you know, stupid 15, 16-year-old shit. We're on Omegle, and he's showing his asshole to the camera, and you know, and I'm playing games in the other room because I'm not gay. I'm not gonna watch somebody else put their asshole to the camera. That's weird.
Yes.
Because he thought it was funny. Yeah, it was normal for what, 2010, I guess. And so he comes out, he goes, hey man, let's go. I'm like, all right, you know, he had a car. He was a year older than me. He got pulled back a year because, you know, he's foreign.
Oh my gosh.
I figured we were going to Chipotle or some shit, you know, because we're in Auburn. And we start going down this neighborhood, and I'm like, hey, yo, where the fuck are we going? Like, what's going on? He's like, don't worry about it. And then we pull up to this house, and he gets out. He goes, get out. And I'm like, all right. So we get out. And then I shit you not, he runs and dives over a fence. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's lost his mind. Where the fuck is he going?
Where is he going?
You know, the fucking door is right there. You didn't have to jump. So I opened the door and let myself in because I'm not retarded, right? And I'm walking around, and you gotta understand, I'm in somebody's random backyard. I've never been here, right? And then he pops out of the bush, and I was like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, this is that chick's house. I'm like, bro, why the fuck are we here? What's going on? Wait, and at first he says, oh, I talked to her. She knows I'm coming. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. This is what you got planned. I'm gonna go stand on the front of the lawn, you know, in the open. And so I stand over there, and then I guess he finishes up, and we get back in his car, we leave. Well, apparently, over the course of the next month, he goes back like 3 times. And then like on this next 4th time, we get in the car, and we actually go by Chipotle, which is delicious, by the way. And then he proceeds to drive my ass to the chick's house. And I'm like, yo, why are we here again? And, yo, now, the story is very weird. I cannot make this shit up. He goes, I found her room. And I was like, hold up.
What?
Are you for real?
What do you mean?
You're weird. Why am I at this chick's house? And so
Why did you have to find the room if you were invited over?
now check this out. Now here's where my dumbass steps into play, right? I thought that I was fucking insane again. I was like, this can't be happening. So I guess he knows her, and we're playing some kind of prank because I live in, and people play pranks all the time. I mean, they used to egg this fucking house every day, right? And I was like, okay, this is some weird kind of prank that I don't get. This will be kind of fun. I've never been part of a prank before.
Oh,
you know?
gosh.
But no, I didn't know. This is like the area I live in, right? This is like the upper, healthy white side of town. I lived over in the ghetto ass black part, like, and you wouldn't catch me after 5 walking outside, fucking over there. So I was like, this is new territory. This shit's kind of cool. So I'm getting a little excited because I've never been outside past 5 in the dark.
Oh no.
And then, I shit you not, and this is when I finally figured out it was going wrong. He puts on a ski mask!
Oh,
Oh! Oh!
Oh my god, dude, hey yo! And I go, hey yo, we should leave. And right when I say that, I hear this big ass dog, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get eaten! I'm gonna get eaten in a fancy white neighborhood. This shit's awful. I'll start booking my ass back to the car. Right?
Oh!
And this dude's dad comes out like, what the fuck are you doing? So, apparently, right, and I didn't learn this until after, we showed up to this chick's house, and it was the situation was even worse than I originally imagined. Because this dude's intentional goal was to look at this girl, because he found their bathroom. And I was like, this is just weird. So we run back and we get in his car, right? And we're in his car, and he peels off. And I'm like, okay, we just did some criminal shit. I was like, hey yo, take my ass home. Hey yo, take me home, bro. Like, I think I would like to go home. Yeah, I'm gonna go sit on my computer. I'm gonna go back to being lame. You know, it was fun. I'll never come back to this fucking neighborhood again. Oh, so let me explain to you, because I told you before this guy had a car, right? He's a little older than me. Well, of course, the dad got his license plate number, right?
Oh no.
The motherfucker had his name as his license plate. We were the easiest fucking target to find, and I was like, "Oh my god, when did you do that?" He's like, "Oh,
Yeah, Dan
I didn't change this weekend." I'm like, "Oh, you're so fucking stupid." It's this Stepan across the back of your goddamn car. And I was like, take me home. And he goes, hold up, man. I gotta swing by my house. And before we even got to his, the fucking police were already there.
Oh no.
And so now, you know, okay, so this is what I look at him, right? I'm back to my no bullshit status, right? Because I'm like, all right, the shit's gotten real. I'm about to get arrested, and I'm black, and I'm in a white neighborhood. This shit is not okay. And so I get out. I'm like, hey, man, look, I'm going to tell him the truth. Right? I'm gonna tell him the truth. Here's the story. I'm like, here's the story. We went to her house to play a prank on her, and we've never been here before. This is the first night. That's the story we're going with. And I get out of the car and I tell that story, or at least something of that similar. And I said it I'm very smart, so I said it very blandly, just in case he fucked it up. Whoa. He fucked it up even worse than I could have possibly imagined. Because he refused to talk and was proceeded to be shoved to the ground and handcuffed. And I was like, oh my god! He's fucking it up! And I didn't start crying. But I was getting my asshole ready for jail. Because I was like, this is not okay. He's fucking up my story. Well, I get handcuffed, which was pretty comfy, by the way. The cop cars are actually fairly comfy because they got a little slit for your hands to sit when you're in the cop car these days.
That makes sense.
I get taken to the station, right? He's still refusing, and he's being resistant. And I'm just like, you gotta understand, like, in my mind, I am just crying. I'm like, yo, this guy is resisting arrest. Why? where did I choose the wrong friend? Like, where did I go wrong? I'm sitting there thinking, like, where was the sign? And
Where were the signs?
fucking
Where were the
stupid?
red flags? Someone show me.
So, I'm sitting in the office, right? And when I get in there, I do start crying. No bullshit. I start crying because I'm fucking scared now. This dude has literally, I feel like this dude's fucked up everything because I'm like, I thought you knew this chick. So I told the officer exactly that. Now, I'm still very smart. I'm like, I've only been here one time. I didn't know. He said we were coming to meet her and we were hanging around. And then he pulled out the ski mask and I don't know what happened. You know, I freaked out. He's still refusing. He's like, I've been here 5 times. I'll come again. You know, she knows me. I love her. I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
So obviously, the police called my parents, and now I'm like, oh no, my dad's gonna beat me up now. It's getting worse. I'm gonna go to jail, beat the fuck up. I won't be able to defend myself. So, my parents show up, the police officers walk in, and then by an absolute grace of God, the police officer recognized me. And he's like, what are you doing here? And of course, I'm freaking out. I don't recognize anybody. I'm like, excuse me? You know, sir, officer, I'll say every goddamn, I just didn't want to go to jail. And he's like, don't you work at that MMA gym downtown? I'm like, yes, sir. And he goes, oh, dude, get those cuffs off of that kid. Oh, brother, the weight came off my shoulder. I'm like, oh, thank God, I'm not in handcuffs anymore.
I found a friend.
So obviously, my dad and my stepdad and my mom are, you know, pissed, and it's like 4 a.m. and they're livid because, I was in jail all night, and I'm sitting there, and the only reason I didn't go to jail is because he knew I was a good kid, and he assumed that I got kidnapped. And I was like, I mean, what did he say? He's refusing to talk, and he's being very violent. I was like, well, I guess he kidnapped me. Shit. I didn't kidnap myself.
I guess he kidnapped me.
And
Guess
And
I
so-
have been.
and
You're
so-
right.
I got off with no charges, no
Oh my
misdemeanor.
God.
I got nothing, right? Because not only because they assumed that I was like driven there against my will, which I technically was. We were going to Chipotle, right? But also
He did it for the
burrito.
food.
But also because everybody noticed me around town, because especially back when I was in high school, I used to wear my straw hat all the time. And so everybody saw me walk, because I used to walk across town to get to the gym, because I couldn't afford to pay to go across town. So everybody recognized me from the police station because they would see me when they went to work.
Sure.
And so I got really lucky in that sense. Well, I go back to school, and I don't speak nothing of Stefan. People are like, hey, you seen Stefan? I'm like, hell no.
He's dead to
I've
me.
not seen him. And then they're like, hey, man, I heard Stefan is in jail. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, no. That's
Oh, shoot.
crazy.
Damn, to me.
And so,
No.
unfortunately, right, like, of course I'm grounded and shit, right? That's not surprising.
Sure.
I have to go to court, and I have to testify against him. And I was like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to see him at all. And so I show up in court, right? And I'm like, all right, I got it. He fucking just outs himself. I never have to testify. He's like, I've been there 5 times. I've been there multiple times. I was doing this. And he reveals like his diabolical plan in front of the entire audience. He's like, yeah, I was looking in the windows and I was there doing this. And I'm like, sitting there like, yo, what the fuck? What's happening? And then the judge is like, oh, what the fuck? And they're like, hey, yo. And he bangs the gavel and they take his ass away. I'm like, oh, God, thank God. What the fuck? That dude's crazy. And so there is no moral to the story. He's fucking crazy. He's batshit insane.
All right.
What the fuck? Like, why the fuck you take me along your criminal ass activity?
Wait, what was he just stalking her? Like a
Yes.
What was the plan?
So that no. That was the thing. He was stalking her. He had a restraining order against her.
What?
Or she had a restraining order against him, rather.
Okay.
Right? And he can't come near her at all. So, you know, he didn't get to finish school. At school, he started COVID way before everybody else. He had to do that shit at home. And I, you know, obviously I finished my shit, but yeah, he was stalking her, to a extreme degree, and I, in my moment of, in like my time of stupidity, did not realize what was happening. I was just dumb.
Look for the red flags.
I was very naive as well. I was just kind of going along, and then after they kind of categorized for what it was, I was like, holy shit, I was almost a stalker. That's really scary.
Accessory to stalking.
Gosh.
That is really weird. And you know what's even crazier? I saw him when I came back to Auburn, like the first month.
Oh no.
He was like, "Hey, Steven." I was like, "Oh shit, it's you. You're not in jail. Look at you, not in jail and shit." He's like, "Yeah, I'm working at the factory." I'm like, "Yeah, I bet you are. You know, it's hard to get jobs when you go to jail."
Oh my god.
He's like, "Ah, yeah, I didn't stay in jail too long." I'm like, "Hey, you look like you're 40, bro. I'll see you later." He's like like shit. And so I got in my car and drove away really fast.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the last time I've seen him.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, if he lives at home with his parents, he's only a mile away from me, which I figured out. And so
you stalk him now.
yeah, I'll stalk him. I'll show up at his house and he'll be like, "What the fuck?" And yeah, remember me, motherfucker. Yeah.
Bad time.
So that's when I lost one of my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Understandable.
Yeah, I
That
lost
tracks.
my friend because we were cool, and then after that we weren't cool.
Yeah,
Um,
I get that.
Oh, you
Yep.
weren't?
It went from 3 of us to 2 of us real quick. Yeah, it was basically that. That was the story. Just fucking like, oh yeah, things are going well. Like that story is the what is it? Not the antithesis. The fucking
Foreshadowing?
it's very symmetrical to like Friday the 13th, where they're at a campfire, things are going well, and then boom, Jason slashes somebody's head off. You're like, what the fuck? Where'd that come from? How'd that fucking happen? And it's all of a sudden, I don't want to go back to Camp Hope anymore. Fuck that place. There's a crazy motherfucker with a machete running around chopping people's heads off.